NBC6, your local election headquarters. Senator John Kennedy, kind enough to join us in studio now, touching base on a series of topics. Thank you very much for being with us here today.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank you
Great
so much.
to be back in Shreveport-Bossier. Feel like I've come home.
Well, same to you and same to your family as well. Heading into Thursday, I know you got some plans to go hunting. We'll touch base on that in a little bit. Let's touch first on the economy here. Louisiana showed relatively strong growth for the past 2 quarters. Not the case last year. Meanwhile, the United States economy absolutely booming here. What are the factors that are keeping Louisiana's economy from lagging, and are they correctable in your eyes?
Well, what government needs, you can't be for business or for jobs if you're against business. And what government's job is to provide low taxes, reasonable regulations, good infrastructure, skilled workforce. Louisiana state government doesn't do a very good job at providing any of those things. A lot of it is attitude. I mean, Texas has a very welcoming, nurturing attitude. State government in Louisiana's attitude is toward businesswomen and businessmen is, you know, how can we gouge you for money? And that's one of the reasons that Texas is so successful. You know, I'm not saying Texas is better than us, but the fact remains there's a reason that Texas is growing and Louisiana is shrinking. We're losing a lot of our young people. If we keep losing young people to Atlanta and Dallas and Denver, the average age in Louisiana is going to be deceased.
But our workforce numbers are rising. They're up year to year in Shreveport. Big gains, Baton Rouge.
They are
big
up,
gains, New Orleans, Lake Charles as well.
They're up, but they're still lagging the rest of the
national,
country.
Yeah, national average.
And if you're not at least keeping up today in America, you're falling behind, and that's what worries me.
Does that point to good things for next year, Senator?
It could.
Okay.
It could, but other states are booming. The national economy is booming thanks to our tax cut bill. Louisiana's not booming, and you can't point to one single factor, but I think a lot of it has to do with the attitude of government here. Yeah. I mean, you know, Governor Edwards, he's my friend, but he thinks our problem is that we tax too little. I think our problem is we spend too much.
Sure. You've been very vocal about that, too. You've also been vocal about DHH and what you deem as fraud within the Medicaid system. 1 week ago, an audit showed Louisiana's Department of Health paid as much as $85.5 million in fees, more than it should have. You immediately called for the Department Secretary, Dr. Rebekah Gee, to resign.
Right.
You've been critical of the department. Does the whole thing need an overhaul?
Well, they're not checking to see if people are qualified for Medicaid. I mean, people are signing up for Medicaid and they're not checking their income. Right. And the auditor went in, he found people making $300,000 a year getting free health care. And he ran the numbers and found that we'd wasted about $85 million in taxpayer money, and that's just a cursory audit. Now, the governor says the state government's broke. I wonder why, if they're wasting this much money. And nothing personal to Dr. Gee, but if she did this in the private sector, she'd be fired.
Correct. Yeah,
and that's the problem in Louisiana state government. Nobody ever gets fired for not doing their job.
Yeah, you've said it. It's a fireable offense in your eyes. Hey, let's talk about your potential run for governor here. You said you're going to decide by December the 1st. Why that date, and what factors are playing a role in your decision?
Well, I just picked that date. It seemed to be a reasonable amount of time. Frankly, I'm tired of agonizing over it. You put a gun to my head right now, I couldn't tell you what I'm going to do. I'm honored to be in the Senate. I'm enjoying it. I've got a lot of work to do over there, but I made no secret of the fact that I think my state's in trouble. And, you know, I think if the polls show, if the election were held today, I'd probably win. But it's not all about winning. It's about, you know, what do I want to do, what's right for my state, you know, what's right for my family. And I'm not trying to be coy. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I just worry about the direction that Louisiana's headed in.
Understood. Well, Senator Kennedy, appreciate your time here, sir. Thank you for being with us today.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, God bless. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well.